Okay, this is my first attempt at doing a demonstration video, and I've gotten very interested in this because of a fellow Stampin' Up demonstrator. Her name is Dawn, and if you're interested in her videos, you can find it at Dawn5377 on YouTube. Anyways, I got inspiration for this card from her, and so it's kind of my interpretation of a card that she made that I just loved. Unfortunately, I'm not using all Stampin' Up products, but I have a lot of stuff from before I became a Stampin' Up demonstrator that I want to kind of burn through. So I'm working with both Stampin' Up products today and stuff that I got from my local craft store, Michael's and Hobby Lobby. Alright, so let's get started. This is cut at, I pre-cut everything to sort of shorten the video a little bit, at 8 by 5.5 and scored at 4. What I'm using, Stampology, it is clear stamp ink pad, smoky quartz, and I'm going to use the Elements of Style stamp set. I'm going to use this hummingbird from Stampin' Up. I'm just going to get that on there. And I'm just going to stamp all over. The Mother's Day stamp. This is the Teeny Tiny Wishes Stampin' Up stamp set. So I'm going to use the Happy Mother's Day stamp from that. So I'm just going to kind of lightly stamp a few of these around the page. In different angles. Alright, next part I'm going to do, which is so fun, I just learned this technique about 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I'm going to do the faux stitching technique on it. This piece is cut at 1.5 by 5.5, 1.5 by 5.5, and to do the stitch, I'm going to use my Score Pal, which I love, love, love. You need to score it at 2/8. In order to make a finer line, I fold mine. I still fold it nicely. Then you're going to take a sanding block, which is a block covered in sandpaper. Okay, so then you just sand. It doesn't take too much, but you just sand the crease. Okay, and sand the other. Okay. Then you take the Stampin' Up matte pack with my paper piercing stencil, and I have this paper piercing tool. I line it up really nice so that you can see the white underneath it and it's even. Work the paper piercing tool through the holes. Shift your paper. Okay, and then do the other side. So now we've made our faux stitches. That's what it looks like. Hoping that's in the frame. Then you're going to take the back and you're going to take some adhesive. Alright, and you're going to figure out where you want to position the bows. So I'm going to position it the way I want it and figure out where that is, and then I'm going to put some adhesive on the back. I'll make it all the way across because... Now for spacing, I'm going to go ahead and put my pearls on right now. kind of try and center it. Okay. So that's kind of my space keeper. It'll let me know where I want to place my bow, how far up or down. Move it down a little bit. There we go. Did it again. And there we go. Ribbons are on. I'm gonna sponge all of my pieces. I'm gonna use Early Espresso Classic Stampin' ink, and I'm going to sponge the edges of all of my materials. Oh, see? No. Mistake here. I meant to sponge this thing before I put the ribbon on, but it's okay. Alright, so right now I'm done sponging my pieces. I'm going to take my bird again and get plenty of color on it. And just press it down. There we go. I like to use glue. Some people will use their adhesive a lot. I prefer the glue. I feel like it kind of works best for me. Ooh. And this you can get from Michael's. They sell glue at Stampin' Up as well, but I ran out of that ages ago, and this sort of seems to last me a while. Okay. Now try not to be too liberal with the glue, because otherwise you'll be able to see it through the other side of the paper. But make sure you coat it well as well. Hopefully that'll show up what I did, so you'll be able to see it well enough in the video. I don't know. And then just place this wherever you feel like it looks best. I'm going to put the pearls on, butt it up against, and even it out with this pearl, so you can find out how many pearls you need. I could count, but I'm just going to use my finger as a marker. This is the last pearl I need right here. Okay. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and these are Stampin' Up dimensionals. It's an older sheet. Now what I like to do is sort of save that, you know, not use as many at one time, as I'll cut mine in half. Pretty simple. Love dimensionals. Now someday, I actually know how to make envelopes too, to send your cards in. So if you do sort of an odd shaped envelope, like a bigger one or a smaller one, I made this card 5.5 by 8, scored it 4, so folded at 4 inches. It's a 5.5 by 4, and that will fit into most standard envelopes. But I've had cards that are sort of bigger, and you can make a 5.5 by 8.5, which scored and folded comes to 5.5 by 4.25, and I know how to make an envelope for that. So maybe someday I will go ahead and show you how to make an envelope that will coordinate with your cards. I don't think I'm gonna do that this time. I might. You don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Sassy, aren't I? And try and position it the right way. It's a little harder. Oh yeah, that's perfect.